First of all, congrats, Devins, on making it as far as you did on Survivor 50. It was so fun to watch you this season. You kept things so lively. So thank you for that, first and foremost. I want to
Thank
ask
you. I
too.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and so just to get started, what did that moment of connection with Ozzy that you had in last week's episode mean to you?
Oh man, I was so glad that they showed that. He really kind of ambushed me on that. I'm sitting on the hammock and he comes up and it's like, "Hey Oz, what's up, buddy?" And he just released that emotional story and it meant a whole lot that he said it to me. I think that he had heard me talk a lot about my kids, understood kind of my perspective of being a dad at that point because we'd spent so much time together in the game on the original Sela and then since the merge. And so the fact that he opened up to me like that meant a lot, caught me totally off guard, which is why I'm tearing up like I was not ready for it. And I just felt his pain. And I have not lost a parent, thank goodness. And I don't know what it's like to have that regret of like, oh, I wish I had been able to say this one last thing to someone that now I don't have the chance to say it to their face. And so I really just wanted to listen to him, let him get it out, and then just let him know that, like, as a dad, there's nothing our kids can do to us that we're not gonna forgive and understand to an extent. It was really one of my favorite moments in the game. He's such a special guy, and I'm really glad we got to share that. And it meant a lot to me that he chose me to talk about that with.
Yeah, it was a really nice moment to see. It was a nice like to see men be like tender with each other, you know? It was nice.
Yeah. And I got to
Yeah.
tell you, like, there were a lot of moments like that. I think most of these men could be tender. Joe, who I know we had our moments with, he is the most amazing guy in terms of being like such a masculine, strong presence, so much charisma, but he can just open up to you emotionally. And it really makes you feel like you have permission to do the same thing. And there were some early days in Sela where that happened. And I was just like, this guy is so magnetic. It's really amazing. And so I give Joe a lot of credit for being able to do that same thing that Ozzy can do and just be totally vulnerable with people.
Yeah, and of course you and Joe had your differences in this season. Where do you guys stand now?
Love Joe. He's a great dude. He's if any fan ever meets him, they're gonna see what I just talked about: his magnetism, his charisma, and genuine like kindness to be with you. Like the game is the game, you know. And he's a football player. Like I'm sure he tackled the heck out of people when he was at UCLA and shook their hands afterwards. We've sent a lot of messages back and forth during the season. Hopefully our kids get to swim in the pool together at the finale next week. Like love Joe. He's a great dude.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. And how did your kids react to your Mr. Beast moment this season?
Loved it. Their definitely favorite moment of the season. They couldn't believe that I'm there hugging Mr. Beast, you know, that I went for it. They're still waiting to meet Jimmy. You know, they're like, when are we going to meet him? You know, now that you guys are friends. It's like, well, friends might be overselling it. I want to be his friend. But they were so amped. And then the fact that our dude Rizzo said their names on TV, you know, Jack and Juju. Rizzo's beloved in our house forever and always now because he did that. So it was really cool. They jumped up after the coin hit. They were hugging me. It was awesome.
It's obvious why you were down to play the coin toss because I mean you control your elimination in that regard and stuff. But explain to me your thought process behind saying yes to the coin toss.
So I honestly had thought that I had done enough to flip the vote from me onto Steph by laying everything out that had happened at camp that afternoon. I really felt in my heart in that moment that I had done that. But then I also knew I'm just going to be the target tomorrow, right? So when Mr. Beast, when it came with an immunity idol, which I was dying to get my hands on a real immunity idol for the first time of the season, it just seemed like it was a moment literally made for me. I just knew in my heart, like, this is me. I said it on the show, like, I'm born for this. There was no doubt in my mind I wanted it. It was just a matter of if anyone else was going to step up and try to take it from me. But I even shocked Jeff. Like, Jeff couldn't believe that someone right away was going, give it to me, give it to me. And I wanted it. And, like, let me be honest with you, Kelly. Like, I wanted that moment, too. You know, it's Mr.
Yeah.
Beast. My kids love him. It's a big splash at Tribal. Like, I can't let someone else come in here and take that from me. This is Rick Devens, you know? If I'm Suri and I'm in a great place in the game, maybe I'm not thinking that quite so much. But I wanted it so bad. And my confidence was just through the roof, stupid, made no sense. Like I was sure I was going to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't, though, what a way to go out.
Exactly. I was totally at peace with that. Like the fact when I had hid the fake idol at Tribal and then gotten it, I'm like, I've done things that haven't been done in 50 seasons of Survivor. So here was another opportunity, win, lose, or draw, like that no one's ever done it. I could say no one voted me out. I was like, I'm at peace with that. But also I know I'm going to hit it because I'm Rick Devens. I was really insane at that point. And Jeff was even looking at me. He could see the manic in my eyes. And he was going, you have a lot of, endorphins going through your body right now. You might want to take a second. And I'm like, no, Jeff, this is, I'm born for this. Yeah.
Let me flip the coin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
adrenaline rush. And it's like, I don't know, it's so good for the plot. How could you not do it? You know?
I'm exactly one person's going to win Survivor 50, and I wanted it to be me, and that was always my focus is winning. But yeah, I want these moments along the way, not just because they're great moments, but also like that's fun. Like hiding and being, under the radar to me is not fun. Some people, really enjoy that, pulling the little strings. Like I need to be out front. I need to be entertaining the jury. This was my moment.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, Jeff has said in the past that they would never hide a real idol at tribal council. Were you surprised that nobody remembered that?
I had that in my mind, and other people probably did too. But Jeff says stuff that Jeff says, and then it changes along the way. Like I just thought, in my mind, it wasn't with Adam's thing. It could be anywhere at Tribal. And I thought that was what Jeff was speaking to, is we don't need people coming and tearing up Tribal, looking everywhere. But for me, on season 38, when I found my idol above the shelter, what I had found was a clue with literally a painting of the shelter and an arrow pointing right to where the idol was. So that's kind of what, in my mind, my fake idol was. I had found a clue with a picture showing exactly where it is in Tribal. So I'm not going to be tearing up Tribal. I'm going exactly to where an idol is. So it all made sense to me. And that also, a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks, he walked right to it. Like he should have done it different, even though it worked, I should have done it differently. And it's like, no, in my mind, I know exactly where it is. And also, I'm scared one of these people is going to jump off the bench and try to beat me to it, which would be a nightmare because there's not even a fake idol in there. It's just a nut and shells and all this stuff. So that's kind of what I was thinking about it.
Yeah, so like you clearly thought of every layer of this lie that you were building. So I wonder, did you practice what you would say after you found it in front of everybody, and like, or did you just completely improvise your responses?
No, I had thought about it ever since we had planted it there. Like, what am I going to say when I get it? And so I needed to make it clear. Like, I found a clue that told me where this thing was, and now I need to go get it. And I think the trick is less is more. Like, go get it, come back. And then I know how I am when I have an idol. Like, I'm very confident. Like, I got to mouth off. Like, I got to act like I know I'm totally safe, even though inside I'm going, oh, God, if I get sent home, I'm going to look really stupid. So I'm like, yeah, da, da, da. And then when Joe and Jonathan are talking, it's like I'm pointing out that they're talking because I got to have that that's I can't even think of the word, but I got to just act like I'm totally confident and out of my skin, that I have this idol. But also like trying to be a little quiet and not answer questions, show it to us. It's like, no, I don't have to show it to you. Less is more. Like I want this to move on. Yeah.
Yeah, when Stephanie was like, show me the idol, that's where I would have failed if I were you in that scenario, being having to think on my feet like that. I would have really failed that moment. So are you just like really good thinking on your feet like that? Or was that also a thing that you had rehearsed? Like because maybe you anticipated someone might ask to see it.
I think I'm good thinking on my feet, but I also knew, if they asked me to show it to them, I'm just going to say no. Like, why would I show it to you? I don't have to show it to like, go ahead and again, that you have to have that confidence that it's a real idol where it's like, take a chance. Like, I would love for you to vote for me and then I can pick who goes home. Like, I don't care. And also it helped that it's like not even a fake idol in there. Like I said, like what can I show them? Nothing.
Yeah.
Christian was actually funny because he was like, after we had planted it, he's like, what if we make a fake idol? And when you go and get it, you can kind of, have it come out of your sleeve. And I'm like, I can't do street magic, dude. Like, again, let's keep it simple and just say no, and dare them to vote for me. And I think people are so scared that it's going to cost them their game that it's like, well, we could press Devins on this, or we could just switch the vote to our second next person that we want to go. And that's kind of what happened.
So after Christian and Emily got voted out, your top allies, what was your ideal final three, and how would you have pitched your game in the end?
Ooh, that's a good question. My game, I think, would have spoken for itself because so much of it was in front of the jury, and I would have just said, underdog, I did this. I never bashed any of you. Like the people I was loyal to, I was so loyal to, never voted against Christian, never voted against Emily, never voted against anyone who would have been shocked by it. Like I played an incredibly loyal game. And there's a lot of, I'd be looking at the jury with a lot of honor and integrity folks up there, Chrissy and Steph
Yep.
and Coach, and I think they can respect that sort of thing. In terms of who I wanted to be next to, I'm not I want to be next to the best player person. Like I would have absolutely gone to the end with Christian and Emily because I'm stupid loyal. Never would have gone against Sari, which is why I think she picked when she decided to go away from Emily and Christian and I and was forced to pick sides. I think she picked the right side because we loved Sari and we would have been loyal to her more, but I don't think any of us would have ever taken her to the end if we had that choice. I don't really even want to say who I would have wanted to go next to because I don't want to put anything out there about vibes, but I would have wanted to sit next to the people who I thought would get no votes.
Yeah. And would you have been happy to lose to Christian or Emily?
I would not be happy to lose, but if I'm going to lose to somebody, those were the two I would want to lose to. And I think it would have been a big battle at the end. And I would have loved to been able to vote for either of them to win too. But, and when I went out, I was a little like the jury was like, we were rooting for you. We wanted you to win. And again, there's still a lot of time left and people played much more under the radar games that they would have been able to talk about. But I was shocked. Like I knew I had Emily and I knew I had Christian, but like D, who I love, by the way, Ponderosa, getting to know D and Coach was such a gift. But like, yeah, Coach and Chrissy and Steph were rooting for me. I'm like, oh man, I should have done more to stay in. This could have been great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have, if I could have lost to somebody, if Sari had gotten there and I lose to her, it's like, that just is what it is. It'd be incredible for her to get to the end because we all knew what a threat she was coming into the game, much less the masterclass she put on this season. And then I love Tiff so much. But yeah, I would have been most happy to lose to Christian or Emily.
And do you think you have another season in you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't possibly go as well as the first two did. I mean, I could win. That'd be
You
nice.
could win. Yeah.
But I can't imagine coming up with more big moments, but I'll try.
Yeah.
I can't say no to Jeff. I love that guy.
Oh, okay. Well, hope to see you again on Survivor. Congrats again. You made this season so much fun. So, and I think
Thank
that gif
you.
of you looking at Jeff and like menacingly smiling is going to be like my most used gif for a long time. It's so good.
Well, that's my gift to you, and I really
Thank you.
appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much.
Okay, Suri. Oh, God, I was rooting for you. I'm so bummed that you didn't make it all the way to the end. I think a lot of people feel that way about this season. I mean, every season that you're in. But I want to get started with the circumstances of your elimination this time were relatively normal, all things considered. So if this is your last time playing Survivor, how do you feel about this episode being your ending?
I feel awesome about it. I feel like I pulled out all the stops. I did everything I could to try to throw a Hail Mary once I knew that it was probably going to be me. And I just love the game that I played this season. I am thrilled with all of it. I don't have any regrets. And I usually have one or two. And I don't have any this time.
It was so fun watching you, like whenever one plan was going on and you came back And I was like, oh, wait, no, now it's just Cerie's plan. It's just like, of course, you missed everybody. You have such a way to convince people that your idea is the most common sense one. And a lot of the times it is. Um,
Exactly. That's why it
exactly.
works. It's not really me per se. It's just like opening their eyes, like, wait a minute. You know what? Because sometimes you got to hear it. Sometimes you
Hmm.
got to hear it out loud or see it written down. And then you're like, wait a minute, what was I thinking? This, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did it feel to have Jeff let you say the tribe has spoken?
Jeff let me say it before. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't, I don't, I love Jeff. And I don't know. I just feel like I told Jeff, the gratitude and honor I feel being there, even at the time being voted out of season 50 and standing before Jeff and seeing him smile and feeling the energy, love from him. I don't know, it was great as usual.
Yeah. It's like the game loves you as much as you love it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
They're my family now. Like I'm forever. So I might get a tattoo. I don't
Oh my
know.
gosh, what would the tattoo be?
I don't know. Something with Survivor and hearts and butterflies.
Oh, that would be nice. You'll have to let us all see it if you get one. So did you and Rizzo talk about what happened at with Ozzy at camp? Because we didn't see much of you two immediately after Tribal Council in this episode.
We did. We did. He immediately, the second he got back, he came to me and was like, Ozzy told him everything. He told him about us. He told him, like, he gave Aubrey everything. And so I had to go with the vote. And I couldn't tell him because Rizzo essentially would have been blowing up his game because they would have known the only because Ozzy was so relaxed and sure that Aubrey was going in and they knew he was in that state. So if Ozzy ought to just arbitrarily played his idol, they would have to look around and Jonathan would know it wasn't Joe. Joe would know it wasn't Jonathan. They both would know it wasn't Aubrey who was leading the charge against him. So who would be left? Rizzo. So he would essentially blow his game for Ozzy. And, he wants to win like the rest of us. So I understood his rationale.
Yeah, but I wonder if there's any scenario in your mind where protecting Ozzy in that vote would have helped both of your games or all three of your games.
I think definitely, yeah. I think Ozzy and I would have wanted to take Rizzo to the end. When we said we were locked, we were locked. I don't think the other ones, not for the same reason. I didn't want to, we weren't taking Rizzo because we think we can beat him. We were taking Rizzo because we were in this threesome alliance and we felt like we could trust each other to the end. I don't think the other people there looked at Rizzo in the same way and wanted to take him for the same reason. So, we'll have to see.
Yeah. And is there any scenario where you think that Rizzo had this idol? Did you ever want him to play it for you? And is there any scenario where that helps his resume doing that for you?
Unfortunately, Billie Eilish, the rules of that idol is you can't play it for anybody
Oh,
else.
right. Oh,
Mhm.
Billie Eilish. Why'd you do
Not even an
that?
option. Exactly, Billy.
Right. Okay. So, it's not even worth exploring the hypothetical of that then because you
Right.
can't. Dang. Why didn't Ozzy play that idol?
I know. And he had a dream the night before. So this is a lesson for all the younger people and even people, older people. When your gut tells you something, when the universe comes to you in a dream to tell you it's trying to reach out to you in many ways. And this has occurred to me. I don't think it's the universe. For me, it's God. I have gotten signals from God that thank God I listened to. Things would have been catastrophic for me had I not. So you will always get a warning. You will always get an ick feeling. You will always get goosebumps. Something is trying to tell you. When that happens, listen to it. Please
Ugh,
listen to it.
listen to it. Yeah. And when you found out what Ozzy did, telling Aubrey about your alliance and everything, how did, what did you fear for your game in response to that?
I felt that these people who already suspected that Ozzy and I were closely aligned would be affected. And the worst part of it was a lot of them, like Jonathan, knew that we had a connection or an agreement. Joe knew we had a connection or agreement. But the problem in Survivor is information is currency. And if you're not sharing your information with me, then you don't trust me. And if you don't trust me, should I trust you? And once they found out that I had this extra vote that was given to me by Ozzy so far back, I felt like they would be like, oh, why didn't she tell us that? Or why did she tell me that? Even individually, I thought we were cool. I thought we were locked in. And I knew that would count against me in their eyes.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of information as currency, can you explain your thought process behind framing Aubrey in this episode instead of telling the truth about Rizzo? Why is a lie more valuable than the truth in this scenario?
Because they had already spoken to me several times, and I think they've shown it so many times where they're like, we don't trust Aubrey. We don't trust Aubrey. And I knew they had a little bromance going with Rizzo. So I felt like my best chance was to enhance that distrust of Aubrey than try to build distrust on Rizzo that they may not have believed.
You're so smart. Yeah. And yeah, when you were heading into tribal council, I mean, I'm obviously you knew that you were a possible name being written down that night, but how concerned were you that it was going to be you?
Very, very
Yeah.
concerned because, as you see, when I said to Rizzo, what happens if Tiffany wins immunity? And Rizzo's answer was, I don't know. And I said, what do you mean you don't know? I
So
already
funny.
know. Yeah. Like, huh? You don't know? Okay. If you don't know, I know. So, yeah, I knew. Yeah. That's why I threw the Hail Mary. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I would ever try to get Aubrey because it was either she or I. Other than that, I never really targeted Aubrey.
Yeah. And when Rizzo said, I don't know, do you think he really didn't know or he was lying?
Nah, I knew he knew. That's why I said it. What do you mean? It was like a mother scolding. What do you mean you don't know? I know you know.
Yeah, that was so funny. And did you sense like was it the Aussie vote out? Was that like when you knew Rizzo was turning on you? Because of course these alliances have to turn on each other eventually. If you're like you're in the
Right.
final three together, you only one person wins. But when did you clock that Rizzo was straying?
When Rizzo told me that that Tiffany wanted him out. And I was closely aligned with Tiffany. And there was no way to bridge that gap. And I knew, and when he told me that the plan was Tiffany and they didn't want me to know, but they wanted him to know, I knew that Rizzo had an alternative alliance, the bromance with the guys that from Rizzo's point of view, if I go with Joe or Jonathan, maybe I could beat one of them. If I go continue down this path with Sari, there's no way I'm gonna beat her. So
Yeah,
I started and to Rizzo's credit, he was right.
yeah. He is a smart player. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Ozzy told me last week, I asked him if you and Suri had made it into the final three together, how would you have differentiated your game from hers? And he said that he was ready and willing to lose the season to you. So, how does that make you feel?
I knew that, and that's why I rode so hard for Ozzy. When it's like authenticity is easy to feel and identify, and I knew every word that Ozzy said he meant, and I knew that. And I knew it when Tiffany said it to me as well. Tiffany said the exact same thing to me. She was like, I'm willing to go all the way with you and lose to you. And I know you can feel when somebody's lying to you. You can feel when somebody's BSing you, right? You can't BS a BSer. And Ozzy didn't try it. So that's why I did everything and would have continued to do everything I could to keep Ozzy in that game.
Is there anyone in this season who you would have been happy to lose to if you were in the final three with them?
Ozzy. He had a 20-year journey just like I did. Tiffany, like my loyalty, your loyalty to me is reciprocated. If you're willing to go down with the ship for me, then I'm willing to drown with the ship for you. So I would have gone down with Ozzy. I would have gone down with Tiffany. I would have even gone down with Rizzo. I would have. If there was an opportunity, he got there and he could outtalk me and do his thing, I would have taken that chance because up until that point, you have been loyal to me. I don't turn on loyalty. If you're loyal to me, I'll be loyal to you.
Yeah, certainly. And how did it feel to watch Aubrey in the episode last night call you the greatest Survivor player of all time?
I love Aubrey, right? Me and Aubrey have this history, and I coming from Aubrey, who I think is a beast at this game, who's super smart. It means more when you listen. I appreciate it, and I'm so flattered and honored when it comes from fans that have never played this game. But it's on a different level when you have someone who's played this game 4 times, made it deep, and knows what it takes to play this game. For her to say that, it just warms my heart, and it just made me smile. I immediately texted her when I saw it, I love you, Orbs. And she texted the same thing back. So flattered and honored to have that come from someone like her.
Yeah. And was there anything watching this season, was there anything that you discovered you didn't know?
I think.
Because you really had your hands in everything this season.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Like,
think, is there anything that I didn't know? No,
and,
not really. The only thing I didn't know was that Ozzy had told Aubrey everything.
uh, yeah. And so watching that scene, how did you react?
Oh no, 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 no. But I understood his rationale. Like I had to like immediately like think, why? What is the why? And once I kind of went through, I had to put myself in his shoes and think like he was thinking and understand why he was doing it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I still love Ozzy
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, of course. You guys have played the game together for so long.
Yeah.
And so have you guys talked about
Oh yeah.
that sense, like how it made sense of it together?
We he no, he just told me like what he did and how sorry he was for blowing up the game and I told him like I love him. Like I ain't one of them. Like you didn't intentionally try to do anything to mess my game up. So I love you, you know. Hate the game, not the player. I'll never hate Ozzy.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think is your best Survivor game ever?
Honestly, I think this one. I think
Pretty
I
good.
was able to survive, no pun intended, not one, not two, but 3 attempts in the very beginning to get me voted out. The second Jenna hit the beat, she said the second we hit the sand, she wanted me gone. Okay, I survived that one. Next, here comes Savannah. Oh, we survived that one. Then we do another tribe switch, and the first thing Jonathan says is Sari has to go, and guess who was still here? So, and then to be in a position where people are coming with the information, I was rich. I was island rich. So yeah, I think this was, and it wasn't, I don't have any regrets. I feel like I did everything I should have done, even down to my last Hail Mary. So I think this may have been one of my best showings, if not the best.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have made sense for you to try your shot in the dark in this episode because you don't want to lose your vote, right?
We were already past using the shot in the dark. It was the episode before. You couldn't use it anymore once it got to me.
Because Devin's used it in this episode, but I guess
That
that was
was
the
the
last
last
time.
time you could use it.
Oh, okay.
That
Well,
I
no
hate.
shot in the
Like,
dark.
why do they have? They should. If you got a shot at, why can't you use it up until maybe 4 or something? But yeah, because I didn't even know that. Once I found that, I was like, damn. Because I'm lucky. I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I'll be the one to pull safe.
Oh my God, I know. Had you done that, a shot in the dark to save Suri would have been electric television.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to wrap up, of course, this is your sixth time playing. Do you think you have another one in the tank?
No, I'm a Lola. I want Avani or Avon. Those are my grandchildren. Maybe they can represent the Fields family or Jared or John or Jamil. I want to pass the torch off. We get our torches. I'll get whoever wants it. They can have it. I want to do easier stuff. Survivor's hard. Survivor is hard. It is worth it. It's worth every second of it. But after 20 years, that's like 20 years on any job. At some point, you want to retire.